Yeah, I had it on hand. So why not?
I had it on hand too.
I'm just so used to using a fan now to start these videos that it's just like, it doesn't matter what channel it's on. Fans.
Work.
Ooh. But, hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Cup TV, part of the Currently Unnamed Podcast Network, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I am drinking the last little bit of this energy drink. Not sponsored by Ghost Energy, but I wish I was. And water, of course, because always. We have a heat wave again in Arizona, and it's 107 degrees Fahrenheit, and I hate it.
I can't relate. Anyway, I am Lana, your resident evil diva, here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. I'm not drinking anything. Didn't grab anything. And my tummy hurts, so I was scared to get anything. So I didn't want to drink anything and then get worse. So I'm drinking nothing. But just in case I get thirsty. If something should happen and I get thirsty, I always have it handy my cup mug. Ooh. Panel for the cup mug. See a little better now. Anonymous cup mug party. Anonymous cup mug party. Hey. You saw a little bit better this time. But yeah, you can get your cup mug or any of our cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. We have some great stuff in there. Go check it out. And we do ship domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And we do ship internationally. So there are no excuses. Get your cup merch. Period.
Well, we are back. We are catching up on 3 episodes of The Anonymous. I waited until this morning to watch episode 5 because I just want more Anonymous. It is so good. Just when you thought the twists were twisting, this is a good twistos twist.
They twisted some more. I was like, oh my God. I think for the first time in a long time on a show about a competition that I've watched, I was gagged. I was literally gooped and gagged. I was like, I did not see that coming. Usually we can predict what's about to happen. Like, oh, this might do this. Yep. They could do that. I did not see any of this coming. None of it.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited to talk about all of this because the goops and the gags are gooping and gagging on this occasion. So we're just going to go ahead and get right in. Before we do, though, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time, giving you almost all things reality competition TV. And check the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels here on the Cup Network, and our Patreon as well. So we jump right back in. It is episode 3. We were on the heels of the second elimination that was about to happen because we've gotten an elimination cliffhanger every episode, which is just how we're going to do it. And that's fine.
If that's what they want to do.
Yep.
Okay.
But we found out that for the second straight episode, Jack became the Anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided, bye, Casey. Bye, Casey. Oh. Our lesbian icon.
My Casey. That second row is not doing well.
No, and
that column.
Don't talk about it, Lana, because we know who's at the top of that column.
I know.
And if you're listening to the audio and you don't know who's at the top of the column, it's Nina.
And we do not ever need to see Nina go on. Get that X in her face. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No.
Thank you. So these 3 episodes tested her safety a little bit.
But yeah, so Casey is gone. Jack sent her right on out the door. And
we found out she was Shark, even though we already knew it.
we knew she was Shark. They didn't know she was Shark. They had no idea.
They were
she was.
gagged.
They were gagged. They were like, "Oh, whoa, surprise!"
Right.
So
now, okay, here's where I have my first question of the episode, because clearly, Lana, there's a lot that they're not showing us.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot we're not seeing.
Mm-hmm.
So we start off this episode, and Xavier is deciding, oh, I want to set up an alliance.
Yes.
I think an alliance would be a good thing to have. There isn't really any alliances yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to set up an alliance. And so he recruits Robbie, Chris, Jack, and Nina,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is a good group.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a strong group, a solid group.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, out of the blue, they're like, we're going to target Tyrina.
It's like, Tyrina? Why Tyrina? Like, it made no sense to me.
It made no sense. Unless she told them that she was military. And I don't remember her saying that.
I don't remember her saying that at all.
I think the other part of it, honest to God, might be that Xavier was thinking, I'm not trying to start another cookout. The cookout is not in session on this season. I don't know. But I was very confused by the sudden and very rampant targeting of Tyrina immediately out of nowhere.
I mean, X said it, and then Christopher was like, I didn't trust her. I never trusted her. I think she should go. He was like a dog with a bone on Tyrina. He was.
Well, he got his bone later on. We'll talk about.
She needs to go. I was like, what did she do to you? Like, he was talking about her like she personally said his mama's a hoe. Like, it was right.
It was like she said, your mama's a hoe. You're disgusting. You don't deserve to be here. You don't deserve to, like, it was like she had said all of the horrible things in the world to this man. And I'm like,
and you have a small penis. Like, right. She bruised his ego in some
unfortunately, based on some printage that we've seen throughout these episodes, I don't think that one's true.
I don't really care. I've never watched. I've not been looking that closely at this man. But
I have, because unfortunately he is a very conventionally attractive white man.
That is the reason I'm not looked at that man. It's just I was just like, what did she say to you or do to you to make you so angry with her? It just felt very vitriol. Like, I don't know. But I was surprised by that. But they were like, she had to have sent Casey home. She was the one. I'm like y'all were close to Casey. What does it matter if she sent Casey home? Y'all ain't like Casey like that for real. So what was?
But genuinely, what are we not being shown? Because obviously it's an edited program that happens over 24 hours. I get it. But like, what are we not being shown that made them immediately jump to the conclusion that Tyrina was the anonymous and sent home Casey?
Right.
Like, I don't remember Truck saying anything in the convo.
Nope.
In anonymous mode to warrant that. I was very confused.
It was a confusing time. But that's what the plan was that they came up with, that they were going to go after Tyrina. Jack, being the anonymous, was like, if y'all think Tyrina is the anonymous, absolutely, I'm going to let y'all believe that. And I'm going to jump on board with that.
Jack has been landing himself in some very convenient situations.
Mm-hmm.
And now 5 episodes in, I have to say, I am really impressed with Jack's gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Jack is slowly becoming someone, I am starting to enjoy him a little bit more than I was.
I think he plays this game well. He definitely is someone who is playing the game and looking for the cracks that people are creating, and he just slides right in there and exposes everything. And like, yeah, that's what it is. I think it is too. I agree with you. That's what I've been thinking about this whole time. But they
Mm-hmm.
were seriously like, okay, that's who we're going to go after. And they put the plan in action. They went and
Mm-hmm.
Xavier and Chris went out and talked to Nina and Jack. And Robbie was already there. So Robbie was involved. And they made sure that they created their little alliance. And I was like, I mean, good on you. You need
Right.
you need people in your corner. But then we
Mm-hmm.
had Nina, who is not just hedging her bets on this alliance, she also has a connection with Dylan, who she's trying to protect and wants to keep around. And so she's giving Dylan, little pieces and nuggets here and there just to keep him with,
Mm-hmm.
close.
And we'll talk more about that when we get to
Yeah.
episode 4.
Yeah,
'Cause,
that starts to shape up very well in episode
mm-hmm.
4, but it started to show itself in episode 3. It was like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But we do get DANI comes very quickly and she's like, good morning, everybody. We have
We're heading
things
to
to do.
anonymous mode.
Going into anonymous mode. And they go into anonymous mode, and it just felt like everybody knew their mission, everybody knew the plan, and they were going straight in there and they were letting it happen. People get in anonymous mode, their mouth get reckless, and they just start saying stuff. And I was like, oh, that's absolutely what that was. I would totally become a different person in the anonymous room.
Oh, yeah.
My mouth is as reckless as they come. And I'm like, oh, would never say that.
Right. But I mean, most of the conversation just revolves around the same people that have been targets the whole time. Jack's still throwing out Andy. Everybody's still throwing out Lily. Tyrina is getting targeted for some reason.
Robbie is making it look like she is Tyrina by how she's talking.
Mm-hmm.
And she's putting the target on her.
And everyone, subsequently, everyone seems to think that Tyrina is Dice.
Yes.
So she starts leaning into that too.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, hopefully if I lean into it enough, people will think that I'm Robbie, not vote for me, and then I'll become the anonymous.
Right. Which smart plan.
Very smart plan.
But they go and they're doing anonymous mode. They're talking, and like you said, the names that were thrown out was Lily and Tyrina and Jack or Andy, and the normal names that we've seen in the last 2 episodes. And so then we get, after the anonymous mode is closed, it's time for the vote.
Yep.
And it's like we go right into the vote, and the vote happens. And
we got some people
is up. It's Andy, it's Lily, it's Christopher, it's Tyrina, and it's Marcel. Marcel was a little annoyed because he's like, I just really wanted not to be enough, but it's them.
Right.
But still feeling good. Here is where the goopery and the gaggery first starts. I was like, oh. So we leave anonymous mode, we go offline, and they go into this challenge. But not everybody is included in this challenge. It's just the people who are up. And they're going into the face-off. And the face-off challenge is you pick a box. 4 of them will say safe. 4 of them will say not, at risk. And 1 of them is safe. And if you pick the box that is safe, you will be safe from elimination. If you pick a box at risk, you're still at risk. Now, you can steal a box from someone, forcing them to pick another box. So this game is all about if you can bluff people or make people believe you have a safe box, or you don't have, or you have an at-risk box. You just want to end up with the safe box.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go off your gut and your instincts in these moments to see if this is, So I was like, oh, okay. We saw this face off. Yeah, this is the first face off. So This was the first face off. And so Marcel goes first. He picks his box.
Yep.
Looks at it. Sits down. And he's like, okay. They're like, what do you have? He was like, safe. And they were like, I don't know about that. But he was up there shaking and fidgeting and holding the box with two hands. He's just like, he was just moving around. And he was like, okay. And so he was like, you can believe it if you don't. It is what it is. So everybody goes in order. And Tyrina, I think it's Tyrina next. Or Andy. I don't know the order. Tyrina, Andy, then Christopher, and yeah. They all pick. Christopher ends up picking last. I remember that. But they pick the box. Everybody decides to pick their own box. Nobody steals anybody's box.
Nope.
They all pick their own box. And so it gets down to everybody starts. They tell each other how to open the box. Christopher opens his box. He's at risk. Andy opens his box. He's at risk. Tyrina opens her box. She's at risk. Lily opens her box. She's at risk, meaning Marcel is safe. And he was
snatched that up in the first try.
And he said, I told you I had safe. They thought she was lying. And so he's safe, snatched it up. And so he's safe from elimination. So we go back to the house. More conversations are had. More people are talking. Tyrina's wondering why people are coming for her. She doesn't get it. But then they go back to anonymous mode, and it's time for the vote or the test. The test of who is going to be the anonymous. So I'm like, okay, who is going to win this? Who's going to be anonymous? And so they do the test, they do the things, and they start clicking who's not the anonymous. And we're like, oh. So it comes down to Nina and Xavier.
I thought it was Tyrina and Xavier.
Oh, it was Tyrina and Xavier. Tyrina and Xavier. Tyrina and Xavier. It came down to them, and I was like, Lord, please let Tyrina win. In my head, I was like, please let Tyrina win. Please let Tyrina win. Tyrina didn't win. And X knocked her out. Xavier was the anonymous, and Xavier eliminated Tyrina. And I was like, no, why? I didn't get it. I didn't understand why.
This is a disgusting timeline.
It was so,
sick.
That boot was sickening. I was like, boo. Hated it. Hated it so much. Hated it with all my heart and soul. But Tyrina took it, and she was very classy. She revealed that she was the truck. And everybody was like, what? They were like, well, who the heck is the dice? Everybody took all the notes. Everybody took all the notes they had and just tore them up and threw them away. Like, I don't know nothing. I thought I knew. I don't know nothing.
Yeah. And then X's reasoning, we get like a shred of reasoning for why X decided to target Tyrina. And it's because she was sporadically sharing information with people. And it's like, the fuck?
What?
Just say you didn't like her and move on.
Right.
Like, if that's really what it was.
It makes no sense.
Confusion.
Very confused. Very confused. So we go into the next moment where this is where the goopery and gaggery starts for me. And I should have known by the name of the title of the show. But they send them back to anonymous mode.
Well,
Oh,
before they
beforehand.
do
I
that,
forgot. Yeah, some stuff before that.
this is where Jack
Yes,
figures
yes, yes.
out that Nina is, as they are now calling her, Baby Sandra.
Mm-hmm.
And I was worried because Jack and X were both like, "Oh no, she definitely looks like Sandra." And instead of wanting to target her, they're both like, "Nah, we want to work with her."
Jack
And I'm like,
especially.
"Yes, correct.
That is the correct choice.
Thank you.
That is the correct choice." Jack
Thank
was like,
you."
"I definitely want to work with baby Sandra." And I was like, "Work." Whew, because I was nervous. I was nervous. I was like, "Please don't come for Nina now. Please." I could not handle it.
Yeah. But now we get the news from DANI that we're gonna have a handle shakeup. Ooh. So everyone has to go back to anonymous mode, and they are going to pick a new handle.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Lana, what new handle would you have picked?
I don't know.
Don't either.
I don't know. I don't remember all the handles that they had, but I would have picked something so stupid and like farthest away from me. Like I probably would have picked the cactus or the plant or something like a tree, something dumb, nothing special.
Right.
A car, I don't know.
Well, truck was already done, so.
All right. It was a boat. I'll pick a boat.
Sure.
But I
probably would have picked lightning, honestly. But yeah, so everybody.
Robbie is excited.
Robbie's like, I'm off free.
She's like, thank God, because everybody thought that Tyrina was Dice, and now they don't know who Dice is, and that's making them nervous. She's like, and I'm Dice, so I need to separate, and I need to pick a new handle. This is perfect timing, picking this new handle. I was like, it was perfect timing for you. So they all go to the pods. They all go to the pods, and they all pick their new handles. And so it's 9 of them. And they pick their handles. And DANI says, let's show all the handles. And it's 12 handles on the board. And they're like, am I mathing wrong? What? Everybody's like, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why is there 12?
Shockingly, another iconic moment from Dylan. My therapist told me to count to 10. My therapist told me to count to 10. My therapist told me to count to 10. Ah! I love Dylan. I love Dylan. We'll talk about the most iconic Dylan moment here later on. But
oh my God,
we get the addition of 3 new players. Yay! Yay, Lana! More players! Yay! Yay!
You know how I feel about this. You know how I watch Drag Race. And I say, people need to go home.
Well, people have been going home.
And I needed people to stay home and nobody take their place. This is not the circle.
They did stay home.
I don't want new people. I don't want new people. I didn't want new people.
Well, Julie.
We got new people. We got new people and we got new handles. And everybody's back, and they just made more work for me because I had to make.
Right, I was gonna say it's more work for Lana making the slides, but yeah. So here's where we're at now. So we have Xavier as the scissors, Nina as fire.
I was like, don't pick fire.
I was like, don't pick fire, don't pick fire. And Nina's like, I'm gonna pick fire.
I was like, you worry about the queen when you should be worried about fire. That says survivor. That screams survivor.
It screams survivor. Like, hey, I may have been on a show. It's like Robbie picking damn dice. I'm like,
right.
Girl, Miss Nina.
Nina.
We have Andy as Lightning. Our new player, Bisma, who I am loving so far, I have to say, as Eagle. Christopher as Lipstick, which choices. Our new player, Victoria, as the Cactus. I do love that you put Christopher and Victoria next to each other.
Did it on purpose.
Yes, I figured. Robbie as the Rocket. Lily as the robot, even though it still says pizza.
There. I did not put it. I forgot robot. It'll be there next week. Yeah.
Cool. Dylan is a popsicle. Wayne, our other new player, as a light bulb. Marcel is the snake. And Jack as a flamingo.
Sure. See, I would have did something like that. A flamingo. Who cares? Nothing big.
I'm gonna go look real quick at what the other ones were because I am just kind of curious. But yeah, so we meet our 3 new players: Bisma, who's a political lobbyist.
Yep.
Victoria, who's a travel blogger.
Mm-hmm.
And Wayne, who's a retired cop. And I thought we got through this damn show without getting a fucking cop. But no, they have to cast a fucking cop.
We all get cops on every show, so wouldn't be a show without a cop. I guess. But yeah, so they all go and meet the 3 new players, and of course, Christopher is the man of one line and one mind. Was like, I knew when I saw Victoria, I was gonna be in trouble. I'm like,
Sydney who?
Sydney 2.0. But this time Victoria's actually single, so she was very open.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna skip around a little bit, but I am really liking Victoria in the way she's playing because she made it very, very clear very early on in the game that she's like, I will take advantage of the situation that I'm in, and I will use this man to my advantage, and I will throw him under the bus if I need to. And I'm like, yes! I love it. Big fan.
But they meet each other and everybody's, very kumbaya moment. It's so good to meet you. Let me show you around. Da, da, da. Typical, we just want to talk and have a good time type of vibe they were giving. And it's all fun and games until it's time to go into anonymous mode. Like everything is always fun and games and lighthearted and nice until it's always.
I think it was Lily that was like, thank God we have Dylan, because otherwise I don't know who else would be showing these people around.
Right. Because Dylan was very much the tour guide, and this is the roundhouse, this is the square. It was very lovely to see. It was nice, and everybody was kumbaya. Christopher was shooting his shot with Victoria as soon as he got a chance to do that. She was very receptive to it, and everybody saw it. Everybody could see it, and it was like, The one who was really concerned about it the most was Jack. Jack is like, I just got into an alliance with this man, and I like the guy, but I feel like he's putting us in a weird position because we don't know this girl, and I'm sure he's going to want to bring her into the fold, and we don't know her well enough to be like, yeah, come on in. So he's kind of concerned. He voices his concern to Xavier, and Xavier is very much like on the same page with that. And Xavier's like, because I know if he has to pick between me or her, he's going to pick her over me. So we need to, who knows? But that happens. And, like I said, just chit-chatty little stuff. Yep. Nothing major, nothing big until.
Now here's where we get the drama.
Uh-huh.
Because Miss Twine
woke up and chose chaos and violence that next morning.
She realized, Chris and Dylan have been complaining about each other to me. But I'm an ally. So I'm going to tell Dylan about this whole situation that's happening. So Dylan is told by Nina that Chris is gunning for him because Chris keeps saying that Dylan isn't contributing enough to the prize pot.
Mm-hmm.
Even though, so there has been the 2 challenges where they've contributed to the prize pot. And one of them, everybody contributed to the prize pot.
Yeah.
And then in the other one, Dylan got his sequence correct.
You didn't even get to play.
So, for me, now this is just for me, the math ain't math in here. The math, which I'm usually pretty good at, it ain't math in here, sir. Because let's be honest and real and genuine. Dylan has probably made more money for the prize pot than you have.
Ooh.
Now, I don't know that exact math. But don't be coming out here for Dylan when Dylan has been successful in both of the challenges that he has competed in so far. All because, right. In case you forgot about it, at this point, there have only been 2 challenges. And you want to know what else? His team also got money in this 3rd challenge. I'm ready for Christopher to go. Bye.
I was saying that myself. It was weird. And they were like, and neither has Andy. I'm like, yeah, he did. He got his sequence right. It was only 1, but he got it right.
He got his sequence right.
And he did put some money in the pot, even though it was 11 balls. It was still some money. It acting like he did nothing. Maybe he didn't do as much as everybody else, but he did something. It's just people.
I don't get it.
The revisionist history is wild on this show. But everything, like I said, everything is all good until we have to go into anonymous mode.
And well, there's the challenge first.
The challenge was first before the anonymous mode?
The challenge was first.
Yeah, and so Victoria, Bisma, and Wayne are the team captains of this challenge. And it's a puzzle. They have to put together a puzzle replica of the square house in a cube, and it has to weigh exactly 160 pounds.
I love this challenge.
Wild. I was like,
why? I have never seen this kind of puzzle done on a reality show, and I really need other reality shows to copy this.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Imagine this, and I know they're getting rid of Sweat and Savvy on Survivor, and I'm thankful for it. Imagine this as the Savvy task.
Oof. Absolutely. You put it on a scale. Yeah, I'm here for it. It has to weigh 100 exactly.
The Anonymous is turning it out. And if they don't get renewed for a season 2, I'm going to be frustrated, upset, and annoyed. Yeah, because this show, this is one of the best new reality shows I have seen in the last 5 years. Yeah. Easily.
If people are not watching, they need to start watching. Like
out there. Yeah. If you're watching this, go watch The Anonymous. Thank you.
And if you know people who ain't watching it, put them on. Put them on. We need to put this out on our socials, Logan. That's what we have to do. If you're not watching The Anonymous, you need to. That's what we need to do. But yeah, it's wild. It's so good. So we do have a challenge, and so Bisma picks first, and she picks first, and she picks Jack because she has grown and had a nice rapport with Jack since she's been there. Jack has been very honest. Jack. Well, I won't say honest, but Jack is just telling her stuff that it's nice to the ear, but it's like you should already know this. He told her, you really should stick with the new people. That should be one of your main priorities, is to stick with the new people and then bring other people in. And she's like, that's very smart. I appreciate you telling me that. I'm like, that should be number 1 goal anyway, but all right, sure. Yeah. But she took that to heart. So she picked Jack. Victoria was next, and everybody was like, oh, she's picking Christopher. We know that. No, she picks Robbie. And she's like, Robbie. She said, Robbie is the closest person to her. It's keep your enemies close. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. She was like, Robbie is someone who I feel can take me on. in this game, and so I'm going to pick her to make sure she's right next to me. And so then Wayne picks Xavier because him and Xavier had a conversation where Wayne was gushing about how much he loved Xavier. He was fanboying a little bit that he met Xavier and he couldn't believe he was with Xavier. And Xavier was like, this man is laying it on way too thick. Mm-hmm. Like way too thick. I don't buy it. Don't trust it. And if I can send him home, I will. And it was like, oh, well, Julie. Well, Julie. It is what it is. It is what it is. And so then Bishma picks Christopher.
Yeah.
Victoria picks
I honestly don't remember the teams. I'm gonna be real with you.
I think she picks Lily. No.
Victoria
Victoria picks Marcel.
Mm-hmm.
Victoria picks Marcel, and then Wayne picks Nina, and then Bisma picks Lily, and Victoria picks Andy, and then Dylan goes to Victoria picks Dylan, and then Andy ends up with Wayne. Yep, it was Nina, Xavier, and Andy. It was Dylan, Marcel, and I don't know. I could be wrong. Yeah. I thought I had it right. I couldn't remember. I just know the winning team
was Bisma's team.
Yeah, Bisma's team wins, which was Lily, Jack, and
somebody. She gives the immunity to Jack because he basically is the one that got the puzzle, like figured out the puzzle. And Miss Lily is mad.
She's mad.
And I felt so bad for Bisma too, because Bisma had absolutely no clue. And Lily was like, it's not your fault. I get it. I understand. I've just been up for elimination every night, and Jack hasn't.
And I'm like, well, here's my thing. I was like, Lily, you ain't say that. You ain't tell her that. If I was Lily, I would be talking and telling the person who's in charge, who can give away an immunity, and I know they can. I really wish you'd pick me because I have been up every time since I've been here.
I wish you never had something. Moment. Yeah.
I would have said something. You can't expect somebody to just pick you.
No.
And you didn't say anything. And that's been her problem this entire game. She doesn't say what needs to be said at the right times. And she's expecting people to just give her stuff. And it's like, no, you have to fight for your own, what you want. Jack put in the work with Bisma. You didn't put in the work with Bisma. You have to put in the work with the people in charge. And so, so they, but right behind them was Wayne's team, like literally within seconds of each other. They had it both. Mm-hmm. And so they both contributed money into the prize pot. And then Victoria's team actually finished before the time was up. So they also contributed money to the prize pot.
Yep.
And so there's that.
Yeah.
I feel like I was talking a lot, so you can go.
No, you're good. Now we go into anonymous mode later that night. And obviously everyone's a new handle. So people are like, well, I can just be, you basically can reinvent yourself in anonymous mode, which I think is another great part of this game. And Dylan immediately goes, Robbie, you're going up tonight.
Ooh.
And the other big thing brought up is the immediate thought of the showmance between Victoria and Christopher. Victoria's getting a little, she doesn't really know how to take all of this, all of it, because it's her first damn anonymous mode chat. I am keeping my eye on Victoria because I think she has a very good gamer mind. Mm-hmm. And I hope that people don't catch on to it very quickly. But the way that she was like, okay, well, if people are throwing out my name, I guess I'll throw out my name. And she literally just says, Chris tonight, Victoria tomorrow.
Right.
God.
It's like, ooh.
God.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Work. And not only did she say that, when they go, after all the chats happen and she goes into the vote and she votes Christopher up. She's like, oh, I'm throwing him up there. I need the scent to be completely off me, because she's like, it just don't need to be me. And nobody's going to think I will vote for him. And so they won't think Cactus is me. And period. And so she votes, but Christopher gets a lot of votes that night. Because everybody has thrown him under the bus for the showmance. And they were like, she's safe at this point, because they were safe. Bisma, Victoria, and Wayne were safe since this was their first time, and that they were safe. And then Jack was safe. So all those people were safe. 4 people were safe. So we only had a few people to pick from. And baby, when I tell you these nominations gagged me, I was like, oh. So it was Robbie, Christopher, Xavier, Andy, and Nina. And I was like, oh.
Because Chris and Lily decide, oh, you know what? We're just going to throw a little Nina in there. And I do want to point out, Lily is finally safe from elimination.
She is safe. All that
I'm happy for the girl.
All that being mad and crying that she didn't get safety and she was safe. Good on you, girl. But so these are the knobs, and I was like, oh, well, okay. So we go back out offline, and everybody's, talking it up, trying to figure out who said what, who did this, why this happened, da 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 da. And we get to the test.
No. Oh,
Lana. Oh no.
Oh, God, no.
Oh no, because we do. We forgot.
Lana.
I forgot because Nina has spread the tea to Dylan about how Christopher was coming for him, and so Dylan goes to Christopher straight up and was like, why you doing all this talking? I heard you, what you said, and you was trying to come for me. Let me just let you know. I don't talk behind people's back. I say everything I need to say to their face. So I'm going to tell you now. If I am the anonymous, you are going home. And I was like, oh, you're going home. You are going home.
It felt very Ika Wong. I promise you are going home.
Period.
I want to say as well, I watched this episode while remarkably legally stoned. And when this monologue went off, I just sat there slack jaw for a second, just like. And then I called my roommate into the room, rewound it so he could watch it. And then I'm like, you need to be watching The Anonymous right now. It's so good.
It's so good. So Christopher's like, what? He was like, I mean, you enjoy your moment with Victoria because I'm the anonymous. You are going home. And that I was like, oh my God. Ooh. And so
this is gonna go down. This is gonna go down as one of the most iconic speeches of this year, and I hope of all time on reality TV. Like, Dylan popped off here.
It's like, I've seen better. Even this year, I've seen better.
It was still good.
It was good, but it wasn't the best I've seen all year. Because you ain't, you disrespectful. You disrespected yourself while you was humping that thing. Nope. Serena Page got this on lock. And the stuff that we didn't even hear, that we heard after the fact. My exes will be, you will be, y'all should be twin sisters. What? Period.
Right.
So, yeah. Serena Page got the going off
Anyway,
a monologue, period.
sure.
But Dylan's was good. Dylan's was really good.
Yeah.
But he leaves, and Lily is like, what? Why did that happen? What brought that on? I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. And white girl, don't do that. Don't do that.
Right.
What is it? Had nothing to do with you. Then you mind your business. He ain't say your name. Mind your business. Zip it up and don't be like, oh my God, why would he do that? Oh my God, I don't know. Don't do that. Don't do that. But he just popped off, and Christopher, I don't know what. I don't know. You know. Because Dylan was like, you think you can go talking about me behind my back and it don't get back to me? You don't think people will come back and tell me stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I don't know what brought that on. You know, Christopher. You know.
Anyway, they do the test. They come out of the test. We are left on the cliffhanger going into episode 5 that the anonymous is either Victoria or Jack.
We came back and I was like, oh, Jack ain't it.
No.
I knew he wasn't. He didn't get that nervous face and that swallowing, that hard swallow that he does every time he is actually the anonymous.
Yeah.
He didn't.
And we find out that Victoria is the anonymous. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with her.
She did what needed to be done.
And she takes out her biggest competition. That's Robbie.
Oops.
Hey, I'm not too mad at it, honestly.
Oops. And I'm like, why is she her biggest competition? What made Robbie her biggest competition?
Because she's a pretty girl.
That's exactly what it was.
She's a pretty girl.
She got the pretty girl because you didn't know how to handle having another pretty girl in the competition with you. Got it. Mm-hmm. But Robbie's gone. And everybody was shocked to find out that she was not only the Rocket, but also Dice. And they were like, what? What? Shocked and shocked.
Yeah.
But she's gone.
And then, the very next conversation, which I didn't realize until they brought it up, is that every single elimination so far has been a woman.
Oh, I do it. I knew it before the news. I was like, why are the women just gone? I was like, 3 women back to back to back. And then now we got Robbie.
Yeah. But we get a cute little kind of sort of alliance between Nina, Bisma, Victoria, and Lily, our remaining fabulous women. I am here for it. I like all 4 of these women. Because when women apparently vote for Nina. We'll talk about it. But
so, oh gosh.
Lily girl, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Oh, Jesus. Okay. We'll talk about it.
Lord. And God, it was. So we go basically straight into anonymous mode. This chat was chaotic. Like, I think 7 or 8 different names are thrown out there.
Yeah, it was like,
and it's like, the fuck?
Who? What? It was wild. People just saying things like Dylan came out the gate, was like, Wayne, you finna go? Oh, like, what? Huh?
I'm sorry.
Where did that come from? But okay. Wayne's name got thrown out there. Christopher's name got thrown out there. They brought up the fact that only women who went home, so ain't nobody trying to come for the women. And then Christopher was like, Mr. Lipstick was like, if we vote like that, I don't want to be a part of that. If that's
I love that everyone immediately clocked. Oh no, that's a man.
They're like, yeah, that's a man. And then they were like, oh, but you didn't have no problem voting out Nina. Because that's he was like, for game purposes. I was like, no. Was it? Was it? And he was like, if that's how we're playing, I don't want to play like that. They were like, oh, but you didn't have any problem contributing to that. And I don't vote like that. And they were like, but you voted for Nina. It was so funny. I was like, oh, that was the easiest one to guess. Then they would call people stupid for their stupid, corny jokes. Xavier came for Andy hard. He was like, we don't need your stupid, corny jokes. Just say, if you ain't got nothing smart to say, don't say nothing. Just shut up. I was like, what is happening?
And that leads to over half the remaining cast being nominated. We got Wayne, we got Christopher, we got Xavier, we got Marcel, we got Dylan, and Nina.
Lily girl. Did we just say we didn't want to have no women on this thing?
Didn't you just set up an alliance with Nina hours ago?
And you couldn't talk about some, well, I don't want her to go. Then why would you put her in danger? Why would you put her at risk? She shouldn't be up there. Should no woman be up there? All the men should be up there so we can guarantee that a man goes home. Mm-hmm. Why didn't you go for Jack? Why didn't you go for any one of the other men?
5 men nominated?
Any of them?
Like,
the fuck? What? I did not understand her reasoning. I was like, okay.
But we go into another face-off. Lana, talk about this face-off.
Same thing. We did it once. We'll do it again. And it was just the same copy, paste, repeat from the last face-off. And Marcel goes first again. He picks it. He puts it down. Then Xavier goes. He picks his own box. Christopher goes. He picks his own box. Nina goes. She picks her own box. Wayne goes. He picks his own box. Dylan goes and he steals the box from Marcel. And Marcel ends up picking the last box that was left. Dylan said he goes by colors, his vibes, or whatever, and purple was his mom's favorite color. So he was going to pick the color of the purple box that he liked. And so he picked Marcel's box. And he picks it, and everybody opens their box, and Dylan is safe.
Come on, purple intuition! Period!
We do love purple intuition. Marcel was like, I was going to say it was safe regardless of what was in the box, but Dylan ended up picking the right box, and so he is now safe from elimination. But there is another twist added into this. He has to pick someone from the safe group to take their place. So they're no longer safe, and he is now safe.
Gooped.
Gagged. Betrivelled. I was like, whoop. And so Dylan is like,
Jack.
He was like, sorry, Jack. I'm not picking another woman. The women been going through too much, so I'm not picking a woman. And I was like, work.
I'm like, hey, I'm not mad at that.
Not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. And Jack understood. Jack was like, yeah, it makes sense. It's fine. But he's playing into the I'm hurt type of.
And also, can we talk about Wayne being messy?
Wayne was
telling Chris that 3 of his alliance members are voting him out tonight? Mm-hmm. Or like want to vote him? I was like,
Wayne went into undercover cop mode and was like, let me interrogate this person and make you feel like something that's happened that ain't happening. And I was like, ooh. I actually kind of enjoyed that moment. I was like, I see you, Wayne. I see you. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's going to help you, but I see you. And it's a fight that he needed to put up for himself, especially after what just happened in that chat. He was like, oh, I got to do something. And I respect the heck out of that. I was like, I get it. I get it. Do what you got to do. And like, he's trying to feel like trust Xavier and want to have that alliance and connection, but he also knows he just got here. Like, I just got here. I need to. Anybody just go instantly trust me. So it was wild. It was wild. Wayne went in hard in this game, and I was like, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
But
then we get test results, repeat, test results, repeat. We're back at the dial. People are safe, and I appreciate that the first person called safe was Nina.
Yes.
I'm happy about it.
Yes, God.
And we are left on the cliffhanger for next week on whether Christopher or Wayne will be eliminated. And I'm fine either way.
Either way. But
a man is going home, and I'm fine with it.
It depends on who is the anonymous.
And it's Jack or Lily.
Yeah.
I hope it's Lily. I hope it's Lily.
I hope it's Jack, because I think Jack will send home Christopher because he needs to break them up.
I think Lily will too.
She might do it too. Unless I feel like she'll play it safe.
Lily. I would like it to be Lily because Lily has had a rougher go in the game so far.
I don't care about her rough time in the game.
Hey,
it's the game.
I would just.
It's the game. It's the game you signed up for.
Regardless, neither of them voted out Nina, so I'll take that.
I mean, that's perfectly fine. Well, Lily did put her on the block, but she didn't want to send her out.
She didn't take her out if she is the anonymous. So
yeah, I do know that, and I appreciate that. But I'm just saying, I think Jack takes out Christopher because he needs. Well, I don't know. I think Jack takes out Wayne because he likes Christopher. But I think Lily takes out Christopher because he needs Victoria away from Christopher. So
fair enough.
I kind of hope it's Lily.
Well, we'll see. But I'm excited to be here next week to talk about only one episode.
Yes. But we got 3 episodes done in under an hour. I say we did a darn good job.
Period. Well, that is that for today. Thank you all for joining for this triple recap of The Anonymous, catching us up on all things Anonymous. Let us know all your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share on your way out. Thank you for joining. Make sure to check the description where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to cup mug. All those links are down in that description below. And with that being said, stay anonymous. Cheers.